Welcome to video lecture series in sociology. Today we are going to discuss chapter 1 titled as Structural Changes from your textbook Social Change and Development in India. We have already started discussing this chapter, and in the previous lecture we discussed the impact of colonial rule on Indian society, which means how British influenced the nature and structure of Indian society, economy and polity. This lecture will particularly focus upon the process of industrialization and urbanization. It is assumed that both these processes of industrialization and urbanization were initiated by the British in India. These processes led to massive or radical structural transformation of Indian society. To begin our discussion on structural changes in India, and particularly about the process of industrialization and urbanization, let us begin by understanding how do we define industrialization or what is meant by process of industrialization. Industrialization is a process of change that transforms an agrarian society into an industrial society by introduction of machine-based production and bringing about associated social, economic and political changes. How do we differentiate between an agricultural and an industrial society? Simply stating, agricultural society is a simple society which has a small scale economy and uses unsophisticated means of production for subsistence at domestic level. The production is primarily done for self-consumption. On the contrary, industrial society is a complex society. In industrial societies, production is done on large scale with use of machine and technology. The mass production done in factory is sold in the market to generate profit. Industrialization as a process of change world over was set in by Industrial Revolution. There is no exact date on which we may say that Industrial Revolution began. However, the 18th century saw the emergence of industry in Britain. It was the age of steam power, canals, marine, machine-based production in factories that changed the face of the British economy forever and later on world. What were the effects of Industrial Revolution? We can understand the effects or impact of Industrial Revolution on society, economy and polity. Let us begin by understanding what kind of economic changes Industrial Revolution brought about. Industrial Revolution led to introduction of factory-based system, where production of goods was done at large scale. This is also called as mass production. Because of mass production of goods, there was an increase in consumption and rise in standard of living of people. Industrial Revolution also led to emergence of industrial capitalism. We already discussed about the notion of capitalism in the previous part of this lecture. Industrial Revolution also led to expansion of world trade, which also led to major political changes in the world system. Talking particularly about the political changes, Industrial Revolution led to decline of feudalism or landed aristocracy. It resulted in growth of democracy. The industrial nations became the dominant nations in the world system. Along with it, there was a rise of the capitalist class. One of the contrary consequences of Industrial Revolution was that it led to imperialism and later on colonialism. As a consequence, nationalism got stimulated in the colonies of the British Empire. Talking about the social changes, the era around which industries developed in Europe, world over there was a massive growth of population. This was because of development of more ways to keep a check on health and development of medicine, which led to decline in the death rate and rise in the birth rate. As a consequence, there was a massive growth of population. The rising population led to growth and development of cities and urban centers. With development of more means of transportation, there was a process of migration. This process of migration led to mixing of cultures, and also new forms of stratification emerged. There are many social consequences or social changes brought about by Industrial Revolution. One that can be very important is the emancipation of freedom of women. World over, women were not allowed to vote, but Industrial Revolution led to changes, the political changes that we discussed just now, and it also led to granting of universal suffrage to women. The social, economic, political transformations brought about by Industrial Revolution also led to large number of problems and social crises. The first was, with the rise of industrial capitalism, there was rise in economic inequality between those who had and those who did not have. Karl Marx talks about this distinction between two classes of haves and have-nots, which are also called as the bourgeoisie and the proletariat. As a consequence of rise of economic inequality, there was development of urban slums. The poor people were congregated in dingy areas in urban centers, which were called as slums. These slums lacked basic facilities of infrastructure and civic amenities. There was an expansion of poor class. The poor class comprised of the working class or the labourers, particularly the unskilled workers working in the industry. Another important consequence of Industrial Revolution was rise in the rate of unemployment. How did it happen? In search for better job opportunities, people migrated from rural areas to urban areas. But factories could not take that many number of people as workers. So, there was rise in unemployment. As a consequence, there was rise in poverty, and this led to rise in crime and suicide rates and number of other illegal activities. Industrial Revolution also led to pollution. We talk about environmental pollution, air, water and noise. It also led to environmental hazards which posed great dangers to our health. One of the consequences of Industrial Revolution was development of weapons of war. You may say that it was a tragic consequence, which we have already seen the massive massacre that occurred in 2 world wars. Coming back to discussion on Indian society, industrialization and urbanization in India did not happen the way it happened in Britain. It is not because industrialization in India began late, but because industrialization and urbanization in early modern period were governed by colonial interests. For their interest, the British changed land and forest law, crop patterns, thus depriving farmers and tribals from their important source of livelihood and sustenance. The British changed the way production and distribution of goods was being done. These changes altered the very structure of Indian economy and society. How did it happen? Firstly, the British interfered with the established patterns of what to produce, which took away livelihood of many people. Traditional export of cotton and silk from India declined. Second, the import of cheap goods and the establishment of numerous factories destroyed many of the village and cotton industries existing in India. Next, the Indian products could not compete with goods produced in factories because factory produced in large quantities quickly and mass production reduced prices of goods. Moreover, these goods offered better and consistent quality. For example, the cotton fabric produced in India was coarse in nature, which could not compete with the fine quality of cotton being produced in the factories in Manchester. The high prices of agricultural produce also led many village artisans to abandon their hereditary craft and settle for agriculture. Why? Because either the raw material was very costly or agriculture was a lucrative business. Next, when the British took over Indian states from kings, the states lost their courts. The artisans and court gentry employed in them became jobless. Thus, the collapse of local demand and rise in exports affected Indian industry badly. Those located in towns where the British penetration was deepest were the worst hit. Although some industries survived in the interior regions for some point of time, but gradually they also declined after coming in contact with mainstream due to expansion of railways and means of transportation. Industrialization entailed major technological changes, growth of factories, and rise of new industrial labor force. Yet labor intensive and small scale production remained an important feature of Indian economy. Talking about urbanization by the end of 19th century, some new towns became heavily populated with establishment of mechanized industries. Urbanization in colonial period saw the decline of some old cities and emergence of new urban centers. Cities had an important role in the economic system of empires. These were the primary links between the economic center or core in the Britain and periphery or margins in the colonized India. Coastal cities of Bombay, Calcutta and Madras, which are now called as Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai, were harbours from where raw material was exported and manufactured goods were imported. Along with the introduction of machine-based production, industrialization also led to emergence of new social groups and classes and forms of social relationships in Indian society. The cities, the new urban centers, were characterized by formal and impersonal forms of social relationships, which were very different from the village life. In other words, these changes in social structure established a new way of life, which was characterized by urban way of living. In the beginning, the structural changes in India were ushered in by the British to facilitate their empire, and once started, they continued with their momentum. After independence, India witnessed a steady rise in the process of industrialization and urbanization. The visionaries of modern India after independence saw industrialization of economy as the path towards achieving growth and social equality. They thought development of heavy machine making industries, expansion of the public sector and holding of large cooperative sector were considered important for developing Indian economy. A modern and prosperous India, as visualized by our first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, was to be built on the edifice of giant steel plants, big dams, canals and power stations. These were called as temples of modern India by him. Since independence, and particularly since 1990s, villages have been coming under the influence of process of urbanization in India. If we analyze, one can see different patterns. The first is, there are villages from where a sizable population has migrated to cities in search of job opportunities. These migrants send money back home, which is called as remittance, for development purposes. They invest this money in developing their houses, their farms and their fields. Secondly, there are villages which are close to industrial areas or centers. At times, they are totally uprooted or their land is partially acquired for development purposes. In the recent past, you might have heard of special economic zones. These zones are industrial or urban hubs where industry is established and is offered concessions by the government. A large number of workers working in these special economic zones or industries live in the nearby villages and thus create demands for property and infrastructure and better facilities. There are villages which are totally absorbed in urban areas. These are called as urban villages and are urbanized in nature. They lack basic facilities and infrastructure. Their development is haphazard and not planned. You can think about your cities and imagine or identify the villages which have become now urbanized villages. The process of urbanization and industrialization are interrelated. Industries develop in certain areas. People from rural areas particularly, in search of better job prospects, income, education, health, migrate to these places, leading to growth of industrial cities and commercial centers. Together, these processes have brought radical changes in the nature of Indian society or in India. The structural changes that we discussed have resulted in cultural changes as well. Some of these cultural changes will be discussed in next chapter. Let us quickly summarize the points that we discussed in this lecture. We discussed the nature of industrialization and urbanization in colonial times and how Indian industry suffered a setback initially. Broadly, we discussed the nature of industrialization and urbanization in the pre-independent India and the post-independent India. And we also discussed the way both these processes have continued in post-independent India with a greater vigor since 1990s and how both these processes are interrelated and bring structural changes. In the next chapter, we shall discuss about the cultural changes brought about by these structural changes. Thank you.